Hello, friends. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, and if it's Wednesday, it must be something about family businesses. And yes, today we are going to talk of family businesses. For the last couple of sessions of family business, we've been talking about how to get in the new generation, how to help them to settle down, how the older generation can facilitate their coming in and becoming good businessmen. Today, we are going to take that forward and look at what are the things that are essential for not only the new generation, but even the existing generation to be successful in business. So let's delve straight into it. Let me start sharing my screen. Okay. So the topic today is I have read across, come across, and added some of my own. And we've got 7 skills that I believe any business person, not only the new generation, any business person should have to succeed in business. So that's what we are going to look at today. Business does not solely depend on innovative ideas, unlimited enthusiasm, or abundant finances, to name a few. Okay. These things are essential. Let's not discount them. These things are essential, but there is more than this that needs to be acquired. And it requires additional skill sets which are necessary for sustainable growth and prosperity. At the end of the day, businesses are not meant to be stagnant. They need to continuously grow and they need to continuously prosper. That's why you are here. Business is not a charity. Okay. So you're here to prosper. You are here to make money. You are here to keep growing. So those additional skills that I'm talking of, which we will start looking at in the next few minutes, are what is going to give you sustainable growth and prosperity. Particularly today's environment. I'm sure you, or if you talk to your parents or uncles who are already in the business and who have come through the various stages, will tell you that today the industry, today the business landscape has become far more competitive. And therefore, you need to acquire, you need to hone, you need to develop certain skills to be able to stay relevant and keep sustainable growth and prosperity ongoing for your business. So honing these 7 skills is vital. So now let's start looking at what 7 skills we're talking of. The first one is adaptability. Today's world is changing pretty fast. And the only thing that is constant in life is change. So any business person has to be able to embrace change and uncertainty. Because today your businesses are not only what you make of them, but there are a lot of external factors that come into play. And these external factors can affect your business, your growth, your sustainability, your prosperity. So let us accept the fact, I think this we have heard often enough, that change is the only constant. So we have to be able to keep changing and we have to learn to navigate. But what do we navigate through? We have to learn to navigate through uncertainties. They have become a part and parcel of everyday life in today's world. So you have to learn to navigate through uncertainties. Take an example of what is happening in the world today. 3 years back, there was COVID. We've just managed to get out of it. And a year after getting out of it, of seriously getting out of it, we have a war between Russia and Ukraine. Now we have a war with Israel. Now these things do affect your business, no matter what business you are in. Whether you're a service provider or a businessman who is dealing in various things, these factors do affect your business. And these are uncertainties that you had never imagined. So you have to learn to navigate through such uncertainties. There will be challenges. These uncertainties themselves bring you challenges. Okay? Like the industry I am in. Because of the Russia-Ukraine war, there are a few countries that have put a ban on Russian diamonds. Now, these challenges have to be addressed by the Indian diamanter, who was pretty dependent, pretty substantially dependent on the Russian rough. Now that they can't get it, there is going to be a challenge, and that challenge they need to address. And market fluctuations. The market is constantly fluctuation. It's not just the stock market that I'm talking of. I'm talking of your market. Whatever it is you are selling, there may be exterior reasons why the markets fluctuate, which are way beyond your control. Okay, so the market fluctuations are something that you learn to navigate through. And you have to have an openness for new ideas, because as you face challenges, the solutions may not lie in what traditionally you were doing. You need to go way beyond that. And therefore, embracing new ideas which are current and valid in today's circumstances and business environment. As I said, the landscape today is changed. And with a changed landscape, you need a changed approach. You can't take the same approach when you're going through a river or when you're going through a meadow. The approaches have to be different. Your stride has to be different. The energies you put in are different. So you have to put in new ideas in a changing landscape, and you have to be able to openly accept them. Don't accept them blindly, but you need to develop the thinking, the analysis power to make sure that that new idea is relevant to you and that it is going to help you to achieve your goals. Be agile and quick to respond. Today's world does not give you much time to sit and ponder or definitely to sleep over something. You need to be agile and you need to be able to react very quick. If you take too long, there are others who will react and you will lose the advantage. Okay? You don't want to be an also ran. You want to be the one who leads the race. So the quicker you are able to react, the better it is for you. Be flexible and open-minded, not only to new ideas, to many, many things. You have to be flexible and open-minded. Tomorrow, there will be a new law that comes in that requires to maintain your accounts in a different way. Tomorrow, there may be a new rule that sets in, or tomorrow, there may be a new demand from your employees, which you have not thought of before. So you need to be flexible and open-minded so that you can address these new challenges, so to say, that come. The second important skill that one needs to learn is communication. Now, a lot of the skills that I'm talking of are required not only as a businessman, but they are also required for any human being. And this is definitely one of them. Communication is something that is required by everybody, whether in business, whether in a job, whether just doing nothing. But he has to be able to communicate with everybody around him. And communication is basically the art of effective interaction. Communication is the way you interact with people. Okay, and therefore, good communication skills will lead to effective interaction. So what do you need? You need clear and effective communication. Don't be ambiguous when you are explaining things to people or you're making a note for people or anything. Be precise, be clear, and be effective in whatever you are writing. These being clear and effective in communication is the key to successful leadership, because then you can convey to your team very well, and business relationships. Whether it is your customer, whether it is your vendor, whether it is the bank, whether it is the customs, whomever you are dealing with clear, precise, and absolutely perfect communication, effective communication, the relations that you will maintain with these people will always be much better. And By having clear and effective communication, by having an effective interaction system, you will convey or you will be able to convey your goals and vision very easily to all that matter. Again, it's all the stakeholders, whether it's your team, whether it's your vision, customers, vendors, bankers, whoever, you need to convey to them what are your goals and what is your vision. And having a very clear-cut, effective method of communication is going to be making this very easy. And it will help you to motivate your teams. If you're clear about your communication, if you're rightly verbose about what you are telling your team is going to get motivated. But if you're not clear, and if because of your non-clarity, the team falters, the team is going to get demotivated. But if you have clear communication, even when the team fails, your clear communication is going to make them get up and run again and feel motivated. It will help you to build strong partnerships with vendors and customers. Okay, I've just written vendors and customers, but it includes all the stakeholders or people or groups that you are interacting with. Essential part of clear communication is first listen. Don't react without listening, because the person who is talking may be making a point which you may not have considered. So listen actively. Also, build empathy. Okay, empathy is very critical in today's times. Whether it is your employees, whether it is your vendor, I think we've discussed this earlier, and I've given you examples where a vendor, due to circumstances way beyond his control, is not able to fulfill your order. Or you may be in the same position with your customer. Listening properly to them, explaining to them, having clarity in communication, having an effective interaction with them, and empathy. Well, in certain cases, the empathy has to come from the other person. Like more often than not, it has to come from the customer than you. Okay, but it's not from the vendor, but from you. So empathy is necessary. And clarity. Let us not be ambiguous about anything. Let us be precise in our thoughts, and let us be very, very effective in communicating our thoughts. A lot of time things go haywire only because you use the wrong word. You communicate ineffectively, and therefore you are laying a groundwork for people to misunderstand you. And that misunderstanding can be pretty expensive. It can cost you a lot. So clarity is essential for a positive environment. The third necessary skill that one needs in business, especially, is financial literacy. Not to say you don't need it personally, but in business especially, you need to have financial literacy. And it is essential to have a solid understanding of financial concepts, even if sometimes they sound Greek to you. What is P&E? What is EBITDA? There are so many things that you will need to understand as financial concepts. And why is this necessary? This is necessary because without financial understanding, you cannot manage budgets and cash flows very efficiently. You have to be able to analyze financial statements. When your team reports to you on something, or when your chartered accountant or whoever is preparing a report and sending it to you, or even when you're talking with a vendor or negotiating a price, you have to be able to analyze financial statements to make sure that you are doing the best you can for your company, for yourself, and for the vendor or customer, so that it always becomes a win-win situation. And having this financial clarity and being able to manage budget, cash flows, and financial statements, all of this together will help you to make well-informed decisions. Because the statements are there for you to see. But if you don't understand them, if you cannot decipher what the statement says and what is relevant to you, you cannot make well-informed decisions. Also, these statements, these cash flow statements, these receivable statements, these payable statements help you to identify potential risks. If you see that there are payables where one particular customer has not been paying you for over 6 months. It should ring in your mind and raise a red flag. Why is that customer not paying? So there is a potential risk there, which you need to identify, analyze, maybe talk to the customer to find out why he's not paying, and then take the next step. And also, it will help you to recognize opportunities. There are times when there are opportunities lying to you, but because you don't know whether that opportunity is going to bring you success and whether it's going to help your business or not, you fail to encash them. Okay, so you will recognize opportunities if you know the financial understanding, and also they will help you to grow and sustain your business. Very important part is time management. More often than not, I know plenty of them. Businessmen are only doing business 24/7. You meet them at a social gathering, you meet them at a wedding, you meet them at any time, any place, over dinner, over breakfast, over lunch. All they can talk about is business. At times it may be because they don't know much else, but then again, that's the challenge. A businessman cannot be one who has such a small focus where he has these blinders on that he can look at nothing beyond that. So time, let's accept it, let's understand it properly and accept it that it is a very limited resource. You have only 24 hours a day. No matter what you do, it's not going to become 26. But yes, how you do it can make that 24 hours seem like you're doing work for 26 hours or achieving what you normally take 26 hours to do. And it's a very precious resource because once lost, there is no way you can gain it back. So time is a limited and precious resource. Make great use of your time, and that will help you tremendously because it's a limited and precious resource. So how does good time planning help you? It maximizes your productivity. Why do people do, well, today it's become a little outdated, but why did people always do a time and motion study? Because they wanted to make what is the most efficient procedure for any process so that the time is minimal. Not minimum, minimal. It cannot always be the minimum. So maximizing productivity, and it will help you to maintain a work-life balance. If you understand the value of time, it will help you to make sure that you're working 10 hours a day maybe, but you're working during those 10 hours efficiently, and therefore you do not have to stay beyond the 10 hours and lose time with your family and your children. So it will help you to maintain a work-life balance. To do this, to make sure that you're using your time efficiently, you will need to prioritize your tasks and activities. You will have to say that, okay, ABC analysis, just let's say this thing. You will have to say that, okay, these are A category. These have to be done on time and have to be done by me alone. Similarly, B category, you define what is a B category, you define what is a C category, or hell, even you define what is an A category, but prioritize your tasks and activities. And whenever you set goals, make sure that they are realistic and that the time that you put, because every goal has to be smart. So there is a T, SMART, time bound. So make sure that the time that you give is an achievable time frame. I think we've discussed this with respect to other things, especially I think about habits and all, but you have to make sure that they're achievable, because if you do unachievable, if you set unachievable time frames, what is going to happen is that instead of 10 hours, you will try working 12 hours and 14 hours, and then your work-life balance is gone for a toss. At a certain stage, your productivity is also gone for a toss, because let's face it, you can work for maybe 12 hours a day for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Okay, we're not talking of Narendra Modi ji, but you can do that. But if you have to do it day in, day out, how long will you sustain yourself? How long will you stay healthy? not only in mind, but even physically. So set realistic goals with achievable timelines. Create routines, or shall I say habits that we've been discussing, to focus on high payoff activities. You have to make it a routine that your time is worth this. There are things, there are activities that are way below your pay grade. Don't indulge in those activities. Yes, they will need to be addressed. And therefore, what can you do? You have to learn to delegate. Let's accept one thing. If you are going to do everything in life, there's only so much you can do. And therefore, there is only so much you can grow. So you have to learn to delegate. But you have to learn the art of delegation. Delegate the right activity to the right person and formulate some kind of a check and balance system so that you know that your delegation is working properly. So learn to delegate. Most important, we so often do things that are totally unnecessary. Eliminate all those tasks. Just junk them. Don't even think. Junk them. If you're not sure, junk them and see whether you can do without it. If you can't, bring it back. But junk all unnecessary tasks. And the main advantage of this, of your time management, is that you will prevent a burnout within yourself. Because you are doing things planned, because you are focusing on your right tasks, on the tasks that need to be done personally by you, you will find that you are a much happier, much relaxed person, and therefore you will prevent a burnout. The next skill that you require is marketing and branding. Unfortunately, we don't realize this often enough. We don't accept it and we don't practice it. But marketing and branding are critical. If you don't develop marketing skills, the only way you will be able to sell is by giving better price points and or longer terms. And that's not healthy for any business. So you have to learn the art of marketing. And how do you do that? You have to create a strong presence. You have to create a presence where people will recall, remember you, and be able to identify you very easily. And today, as I said, the landscape, business landscape is very different and very competitive. So today's competitive landscape, business landscape, dictates a strong brand presence. Whether you're in the B2B business or the B2C business, it doesn't matter. Okay, but you need to have a strong branded presence, even at the B2B level. When somebody is looking for a source of your product or your service, you should be the one who comes first to mind. B2B, or when a consumer is looking to buy something, your brand should be the one that that person remembers first when he looks at that product category. So a strong brand presence is necessary. And effectively market your product or a service, whatever it is that you are selling. Effectively market the product or service, and very important again, effectively market yourself. At the end of the day, every business, whether B2B or B2C, needs a face. And the face is you. You have to be able to market yourself also. When somebody says, okay, A of this company, okay, that company has now got a branded presence. A is there and A is known as the person who's associated with the company. What is it that they will look for? When they look for product, they look for quality and all of those things, which is your company reputation. But when they are looking for whom to deal with, it's going to be about what A is this thing known for, or what he can be described as. Always will make the right offer, be fair, be just, be creating win-win situations. If he says he's going to do it, it will get done. Most important. If you say this is going to happen, it had better happen. That's how you create and market yourself. And to do all of this, you need to understand the target audience. You cannot create a strong brand presence if you don't know your target audience. or you cannot market properly, because your marketing strategies, your branding strategies have to be focusing on your target audience. What is the point of branding for somebody who's never going to buy your product? So target it for the right audience and plan your advertising, plan your marketing based on that target audience. You have to be able to understand your target audience. You have to know all the characteristics of the target audience, their choices, their methods of buying, various other aspects. Only then will you be able to prepare a proper focused marketing plan. In today's world, I don't think you can do without this. Use digital and social media. It's a must. And it's cost effective. What you can achieve by digital marketing and social media, at times you will not achieve that, no matter how much money you spend in newspaper advertisements, magazine advertisements, TV time. It has to be digital and social media. The amount of businesses that succeed because of Instagram and Facebook are unbelievable. And they work it through such a small budget that it leaves you thinking. A recognizable brand that is built with your audience in mind. Again, I'm emphasizing this. Any brand, any marketing strategy has to be built with your audience in mind. And what will be the effect? It will give you increased brand loyalty, because the relevant people are seeing your market. The relevant people are looking at your USPs and what the brand stands for. And therefore, if they believe in that, if they believe you, and naturally they should, if your marketing strategy and branding strategy is geared to attract them, then that will give you increased brand loyalty and also attract new customers. From the same audience, there may be customers who are not buying your brand or your product or your service. But once you have this brand in place, once you have advertised and let the world know what your brand stands for, very important. A brand is like a human being. Okay? Every brand has to have its characteristics. Just like Hemant Shah has his characteristic physical, my mustache, my beard, whatever, and inherent, which are more important. Okay, so right from packaging of a brand up to the product, the quality of the product, the finish of the product, everything has to be good. And then if that brand resonates with your target audience, you will get more brand loyalty and you will be able to attract new customers. And one important thing which I think we fail to recognize or value is that branding and proper marketing and creating this kind of a presence in the mind of the consumer will create wealth for you, which is just not possible from the routine business that you do. A routine business might give you a profit of few crores of rupees, say, every year. But that same business, if well branded, if well marketed, and who have established their presence in a big way, can give you a valuation that is way, way, way beyond that few crores of rupees that you earn every year. You need to build resilience, especially in today's world. Okay, I keep saying today's world because I've seen 35 years of business and how the whole business landscape has changed. So I keep saying today's world, today's world. But what is resilience? Resilience is the ability to bounce from setbacks, bounce back from setbacks. Okay? You are going to face setbacks. You are going to face challenges. Accept that as a fact. How you bounce back from these setbacks is that what will determine your success. So it is the ability to bounce back from setbacks. Businesses constantly face challenges and setbacks. Constantly. I don't think you will find a whole year or at least a few years going by where there are no challenges and no setbacks. Even if you are a monopoly. Okay? And What does resilience do? Resilience helps you to face and move forward after failures. So when you get setbacks, there's some of them could be leading to failures, but resilience helps you to get up, sprinkle away the dust, and say, okay, I'm ready to go, and keep moving forward. So it helps you to face and move forward after failures, setbacks, and rejections. Very often, every customer you quote to is not going to order from you for many, many, many reasons. Okay. But it will help you to move forward after all of this setbacks with positivity and added determination. Then you are the real winner. It should not just be about positivity. It should be about added determination. Why did I fail? Analyze it. Find out what are the weak points that you are going through. Address those weak points. Make them your strengths in the course of the time. And with that added determination, just move ahead. Develop a positive and growth-oriented mindset. This is very important. Any businessman who does not have a positive and growth-minded, oriented mindset is going to fail. Not fail in the sense, but he remains stagnant. It's as good as failing. You need to continuously grow. Treat obstacles as opportunities. Don't treat them as drawbacks. Treat them as opportunities for learning and improvement. I think we've discussed this also in one of the talks before, that every setback, every time you fall, learn from it, make sure that you correct whatever was the reason or reasons that led to that failure and improve on them and move ahead. And this is very important. Create a network of mentors, peers, and like-minded individuals. These mentors, peers, or like-minded individuals are the ones who will provide you support, who will give you guidance through your challenges, and who will encourage you to get up and move on. So creating this network is very, very important. The seventh and last skill that we are talking of is continuous learning. The day somebody says, okay, I know it all, and I know plenty of people who keep saying that, I call them MBAs. In Gujarati, Mone Baddu Avde Che. I know it all. They are the MBAs. So continuous learning and working towards that is important. And as I've said in one of my talks before, let the child in you stay alive. All children are curious by nature. Don't let that curiosity die. Stay curious and keep evolving. Just staying curious is not good enough. Keep evolving. As you learn things, as you know things, as you find out things, evolve. Evolve to a better you. Business has no place for complacency. Understand this very clearly. Complacency can be a major stumbling block. So you can never be complacent. And one needs to prioritize continuous learning to stay ahead of the competition. There are changes happening so rapidly in the world. At times, I wonder if we can all ever stay updated all the time. But if you prioritize continuous learning, you will be able to stay ahead of the competition. And this learning is not only for yourself as the owner of the business, it is for your whole team. Because if your team is not up to the mark, it is not updated on a regular basis, you're going to suffer, because at the end of the day, any leader, anybody needs a good team to be able to win. Follow and stay updated with industry trends. That's a no-brainer. Emerging technologies. Because today the emerging technologies are so fast and so widespread that there is something or the other that will affect your business. Maybe from as simple a thing as to billing to as complicated a thing as using some technology to manufacture your goods, which will make things easier. And follow best practices always. And these best practices keep changing. For people in the know, over the last few years, one of the best practices that has become practically essential for every business is to go green. And it has become such an important practice that there is this thing called greenwashing. Okay, people, because they have to project and tell people that they are green, they greenwash their activities. So you need to follow and stay updated with industry trends, with emerging technologies and best practices. And how do you do this? You organize or attend workshops for your team. Call in a speaker, call in somebody who knows about the subject. Ask them to talk to your team. I talk to various teams, right from call center operators right up to the leaders of a business. Of course, the topic is different, the content is different for each of them, but at each stage, they need to learn what is the next step for them. I cannot take a call center team member and teach him about how it is to run a business. He's going to get lost. There's a big gap between the two. So how do you, this thing, you make them go up one step at a time. Just like you get promotions in your office, you don't jump from being a clerk or a data entry operator to the CEO of a company straight away. No, there are steps involved. There are procedures you need to learn. There are things that you need to learn before you can reach that stage. So organize, attend workshops for your team at different levels to enhance skills and knowledge. It's about both. Never ever stop finding ways to improve yourself, your team, and your business. Keep evolving. Keep on finding how you can improve things. Maybe a new software you can implement, maybe a new process for some of the things that you manufacture. Keep improving. In fact, I would go to the extent that have a team, small one maybe, and give them a budget whose only work is to find out how to improve things within your office. So never stop finding ways. And that team at times will become, at some stage will become so critical that you'll wonder how you ever did without them. So stop this thing, procrastinating on this particular aspect and keep finding new ways to improve yourself, your teams, and your business. Once you improve, your teams, you will automatically want them to improve because they want to be, you want them to be able to understand what you are saying. And once you and your team have improved, your business is automatically going to improve. So never stop finding ways to improve yourself, your team, and your business. Now, honing the 7 skills, making sure that the 7 skills are well developed for you is a must for a successful journey as a businessman. If you don't have these 7 skills, my viewpoint is that you cannot be a very successful businessman. And develop this to navigate the journey with confidence and sustained success. You have to be confident of what you are doing because that's the projection, that's the image that all your stakeholders are going to see. And sustained success, a one-off success is nothing. You achieve the one-off success, okay, you've gone a notch up, but after that, you have to keep going. You don't go a notch, but you go a small step at a time. You have to keep on succeeding. And whatever time and effort this requires, make sure you take it out. Make sure you devote time and effort to this because the rewards that you will get out of following these 7 skills and honing your skills, rewards will far outweigh the inputs of your time and effort. Having said this, from whatever I have seen in business, whatever businesses I have interacted with, even with 4 or 5 family members, all these 7 skills are difficult to find for various reasons. And we are not going into those reasons now. But I believe that if there are any of these things missing, like a financial analysis, use a consultant, use somebody who will be able to help you through it, or employ somebody, or even for marketing. You may not have the knowledge and skill required for branding and marketing. Find somebody to help you, appoint a consultant, learn the processes, go through courses. Maybe if there's no course available for the kind of thing you want to do, get some coach who will do it only for you. Costs a little more, sure, but then actually what will happen is that that coach is going to customize the content for you. And therefore, you will learn much more than you would learn if you went to a standard coach or event. So I think in the next session, just talking with the thought that's coming to mind right now, I think in the next session, I will take up this topic and talk about how professionals can get into a business, family business, and help the family business to grow. And in such a situation, what is the thing that the family members or the business owners and the professional both need to understand, accept, and move ahead? I hope this talk has been good for you. Thank you all for listening. As usual, do send me your comments. I've been receiving some really nice comments, along with a few more topics that I should address. And yeah, if you get a chance, do let me know if the topic I just thought of, well, I call it thinking on my feet, though I'm sitting right now, about how professionals can help in a family business and what the owners and the professionals need to understand. If you think that is interesting, please, over the next couple of days, send me your views. With any yes or a no is also enough, so that I know if there's a good amount of people who are interested, I will work on content for that and come up with it for the next talk on family business, which is what, today's 31st, on the 7th of February. Thank you. Have a nice day. Enjoy yourself. And please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.